What if I told you a 17-year-old girl struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig back-to-back and baseball banned her for it? She was left-handed, 5'8", and her curveball didn't just drop, it disappeared off the face of the earth. Her name was Jackie Mitchell, and she wasn't supposed to be here. Not in the 1930s, not in a man's game, but somehow she made it. Born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, in 1913, Jackie grew up surrounded by baseball. Her father was a passionate fan, the kind who'd sit with her on the porch and talk about the game for hours. He taught her how to grip the ball, how to release it, and most importantly, how to believe that she belonged anywhere her arm could take her, even if society said otherwise. From the very beginning, Jackie wasn't like other kids. She was quiet but fierce, with a spark that made people remember her. She spent her afternoons playing catch on dirt lots and local fields, wearing down baseballs until the seams unraveled. Every pitch was a small rebellion, a message that said, "I can do this too." While other girls were learning piano or embroidery, Jackie was out there challenging the neighborhood boys, daring them to hit her best stuff. At first, they laughed. They called her cute, said she'd get hurt, but after a few fastballs went right past them, the laughter turned into frustration. And then respect. By the time she was a teenager, the boys refused to face her altogether. Jackie Mitchell wasn't just a girl with a glove, she was a pitcher with something to prove. And then, fate intervened. Her next-door neighbor just happened to be Dazzy Vance, one of the most feared pitchers in baseball history. A Hall of Famer known for his wicked drop ball, a pitch that defied gravity and shattered egos. Vance saw Jackie pitch one afternoon and couldn't believe what he was watching. He saw potential, real potential. He started coaching her, teaching her the finer details of movement, deception, and control. He showed her how to hide the ball behind her leg, how to release it with perfect wrist snap, and how to use her drop ball like a weapon. The secret, he told her, is to make them believe they can hit it until they can't. Jackie practiced relentlessly, day after day, until her drop ball tumbled so sharply it looked like it fell off the face of the earth. When she pitched, batters didn't just swing and miss, they stared in disbelief. By 17, Jackie wasn't just holding her own. She was dominating. She mowed through hitters in local leagues, leaving grown men red-faced and silent. Fans started showing up just to see her throw. She had command, confidence, and a presence on the mound that couldn't be ignored. Her mechanics were fluid, her timing perfect, and more than anything, she carried herself with a calm that said, "I belong here." It was the middle of the Great Depression. Baseball was the country's heartbeat, the one thing that made people forget their struggles for a few hours. And in the middle of that, a teenage girl was rewriting what everyone thought was possible. Enter Joe Engel, the charismatic, unpredictable owner of the Chattanooga Lookouts. They called him the P.T. Barnum of baseball. He loved a good headline more than anything. He once traded a shortstop for a live turkey, and then served it to reporters at lunch. So when he heard about a teenage girl with a big arm and a mean curveball, he knew exactly what to do. In March of 1931, Engel signed Jackie Mitchell to a professional baseball contract. The news spread like wildfire. Some laughed, some cheered. Most didn't believe it was real. A woman on a professional baseball team? Impossible. But Engel was a showman, and Jackie was about to prove she wasn't just a stunt. A week later, the New York Yankees rolled into town for a spring training exhibition. And not just any Yankees, the 1931 Yankees, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Tony Lazzari, baseball royalty. Over 4,000 fans packed the stands at Engel Stadium in Chattanooga. The sun was out, the air was electric, and everyone was ready for a show. No one knew what was about to happen, not even Jackie. Before the game, Joe Engel walked up to her, put a hand on her shoulder and said, "You're pitching today." Jackie froze for a second. Then she smiled. She'd been waiting her entire life for this moment. Top of the first inning. The Lookouts were already in trouble. 2 men on, no outs. And from the bullpen came Jackie Mitchell. The crowd gasped. A 17-year-old girl walking to the mound to face the greatest lineup in baseball history. She tugged on her cap, took a deep breath, and stepped onto the rubber. Even the Yankees smirked. Babe Ruth laughed and joked with Gehrig, but the laughter wouldn't last long. Babe Ruth stepped into the batter's box, the most feared slugger on the planet. The crowd held its breath as Jackie stared him down, unshaken. Ruth laughed at first, but it didn't last long. With a mix of precision and confidence far beyond her years, Jackie made him chase pitches he couldn't touch. Moments later, Ruth was walking back to the dugout, shaking his head in disbelief. The great Bambino, struck out by a 17-year-old girl. The stadium exploded. Fans screamed, hats flew into the air, and every camera turned toward the mound. Then came Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse, calm, powerful, unbreakable. But that day, even he couldn't figure her out. Jackie made him swing and miss until the impossible happened again. Back-to-back strikeouts. Two of the greatest hitters alive, sent down by a teenage girl who refused to be intimidated. The crowd went wild. Reporters scrambled for their notebooks, stunned by what they had just witnessed. Jackie simply smiled and walked off the mound, calm, composed, as if she had expected it all along. Moments later, she walked to the next batter, and her manager pulled her from the game. But the story had already been written. In just one inning, she had done something no one had ever done before or since. The next morning, Jackie Mitchell's name was in newspapers across the country. Some called it a publicity stunt. Others said it was proof that women could play the game as well as men. Ruth later claimed she'd never thrown him a real pitch, but the fans who were there, the 4,000 people who saw it happen, they knew the truth. They saw greatness that day. 3 days later, that greatness was taken away. Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis voided Jackie's contract, declaring that baseball was too strenuous for women. Too strenuous. For the girl who struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, they didn't ban her because she failed. They banned her because she succeeded, because she'd proven that baseball wasn't just a man's game. And they couldn't handle that truth. Jackie didn't quit right away. She kept playing, touring with barnstorming teams and novelty clubs. She joined the House of David, a team famous for their long beards. They made her wear a fake one to fit in. Once, they even asked her to pitch while riding a donkey. That's when she realized the truth. She was no longer seen as a player, but as entertainment. The respect she'd earned was gone. So, at just 23 years old, she walked away from baseball forever. Years later, she'd say in an interview, "I got tired of being a joke. Baseball was my dream, but they turned it into a circus." History tried to forget Jackie Mitchell. Her name was erased from record books, her achievements dismissed as a myth. But legends have a way of surviving. That day, in 1931, Jackie Mitchell didn't just strike out 2 Hall of Famers, she struck out an entire mindset. She proved that talent doesn't have a gender, that courage doesn't have a limit, and that history, no matter how hard you try to erase it, always finds a way to come back. In front of 4,000 witnesses, she made the impossible happen, and baseball banned her, not because she failed, but because she didn't. They said baseball wasn't for her. They said women weren't strong enough, fast enough, or smart enough. But for one perfect afternoon under the Tennessee sun, baseball belonged to Jackie Mitchell. And maybe that's why they erased her, because for one inning, she was better than the best.